Living in Sardinia can be very cheap, but this is what my real monthly cost looks like. And just a quick disclaimer, this is just my situation. It's not a universal one. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Bianca. For those of you who are new here, thank you for being here. Now, before we dive into the deeper details, I just want to add a couple of things. Firstly, costs really vary a lot from person to person, depending on lifestyle. As I said before, this is just my personal experience. I am a single woman with a few furry feline dependents, so no children, no partner. So that makes a difference. And then, of course, everyone has their own financial ceiling, so they know how much they have to spend. And often, if you make more, you tend to spend more. If you make less, you tend to spend less. The final factor is that people live differently. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I operate across multiple currencies. You probably noticed from my accent and from my previous videos that I am Australian, so I do have some expenses that are in AUD. Then for my work, I am paid in USD, but of course I live in Europe, so I spend my money in euros. So there's a lot of different currencies going on in my world and a lot of conversions happening. But for the purpose of this video, I will be converting everything into euros so that it does make sense. Now, what I'll be doing in the video is breaking things down into the different expenses that people generally experience in their day-to-day lives. So things like housing, utilities, food, transportation, and just the day-to-day lifestyle costs. I'll add in some, additional extras that come in here and there, just to give you a full picture of what my experience has been. So without any further ado, let's dive straight in to the details. Starting with housing. So housing is the most expensive thing for me on a monthly basis. If you've bought a cheap house here in Sardinia, and you did so with a mortgage, then obviously you're going to have a mortgage repayment. If you paid it outright, then you won't have any costs, unless, of course, you are going into renovation mode, and then costs are going to vary a lot. In terms of my situation, I purchased a house with cash that I had, and then I also loaned some money. So the money that I'm paying back on a monthly basis is a loan agreement that I made with a friend who loaned me the money. God bless her. If you're watching, E, thank you. I love you. And the cost of my repayments to her each month have varied depending on my financial situation as I've tried to stabilize myself in a new career. So I'm looking at anywhere between 900 and 1200 euros per month for my repayments. I do pay this back in AUD though. But all in all, housing is typically going to be one of your highest expenses, unless you've completely paid everything off and don't have anything more to do. The next big expense is utilities. Here in Sardinia, electricity is probably the biggest expense that you'll pay. Everything runs on electricity. Now, some people do use gas, but there is no gas on the island of Sardinia. There are gas bottles, but when you're living in the Centro Storico, unless you have a big house with a yard with space around your house, it's a little tricky to have a gas bottle or like a large gas bottle that you could have outside of your house. I personally will not be using gas simply because I don't want to have gas bottles inside my house. I don't think Italy has any regulations on this. Maybe they do, but I would not feel comfortable living in a house with a gas bottle. So it has to be electricity for me. And that's why it is a big expense, because everything is running on electricity. You've got your heating, your air conditioning if you use it in summer. I do not currently. Your stovetop. I use an electric induction stovetop. Mine is a portable one currently. Heating your water is done with electricity also. And then, of course, you've got all the other things, lighting, running the washing machine, hair dryers, all of those typical things. Now, the advice that was given to me from my geometra was to get my electricity through the largest provider here on the island that I'm aware of, and their name is Enel, E-N-E-L. Now, my personal experience has been that Enel is a very expensive provider of electricity, and As a result, I have decided to no longer support them and I have changed providers just this past month. So, what I have now is the opportunity to compare with another provider and see what my electricity bills end up being. But typically speaking, my lowest bill was obviously over the summertime because I'm not using any heating and I don't use air conditioning, just a fan. So that was for 2 months, around 185 euros. Now, during winter, when I am using the heating, the cost of electricity has been as high as 500 euros, possibly even a little bit higher, like 515. For the 2 month period, typically it is that December, January, February months that I have received a bill of that amount. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that when you move to Sardinia, and I suspect this is Italy-wide, each house starts with a supply of 3 kilowatts per property. Now, I'm not used to this. Living in Australia, you basically pay for your electricity and you just get billed for how much you use. But here you have a cap. So what that means is that each cap or each level has a higher tariff that you pay. And in order to have a higher tariff, you have to pay to have that as well. So there's an upgrade fee as well. 3 kilowatts doesn't actually allow you to run many things without tripping the electricity. So when I first moved in, I had 3 kilowatts and I ran the washing machine, the electric stovetop, and then I put the kettle on and everything tripped and all the lights went off. So then I had to obviously go and switch it all back on. So, the only way that would happen to you in a country like Australia is if you put on every single thing in your house. So I've basically never had that experience before. I very quickly phoned the company and I said, I need this to be put up to 4.5. And they said, yes, we can do that for you. And they do it instantly, but they charge you about 150 euros to do so. And then your tariff goes up. So being with Enel, I have experienced very high electricity and I went to a comparison website. I put in my bill, my details, and it basically told me that there were other companies that could provide exactly the same for much cheaper. So switch providers, as I mentioned before, we will see what happens with the bills going forward. But what I have chosen is a fixed amount for 12 months. So that, and I didn't know that this was a thing as well, but they have variable rates for the electricity as well. So sometimes you can be paying more if you're on a variable rate compared to being on a fixed rate. So I've chosen a fixed rate for the next 12 months. So we will see moving forward what my electricity bill looks like. But this particular bill has been one of the top expenses that I've had living here in Sardinia. Okay, so what are the other utilities? Of course, there's water. Now, the water bill, everyone goes with one company. It's called Abanoa. And that bill for me has been roughly between around 65 euros and 120 euros. So that's the range that we're playing in here. And the water bill comes, I want to say, every 3 months. So it's really insignificant compared to electricity. Then I have my internet provider, fiber optic cable, which is currently not working today. I'm currently hotspotting off my phone. So stuff like that happens here in Sardinia. The internet provider I use is TIM. TIM is like telecom in most other countries, which we call Telstra in Australia. And honestly, when it runs, it's fantastic. Now, on a monthly basis, they charge 27 euros plus some fees. So that comes out at 31 euros per month. As for my mobile phone, there are many, many, many providers you can choose from. I pay 8 euros for the month and I get something like 200 gigabytes of usage, unlimited phone calls and text messages. Moving on to food. Now, food is obviously a very personal one and everybody eats in their own specific way. They have their foods they love, their drinks they love, the things that they will never give up or never not purchase. I am fairly health conscious. I tend to eat mostly whole foods. meat, dairy products, eggs, bread, fruit. Not a big vegetable fan, so I don't eat a lot of vegetables. And then you've got other expenses like olive oil and cleaning products, those sorts of things. I generally visit the supermarket once a week. Occasionally, I'll go twice a week, but not for a big shop. It's just because I've forgotten something. And there are a couple of options when it comes to shopping. So I have my local supermarket that I walk to, as I said, once, maybe twice a week. Then I have a little local or like a mini supermarket here that stocks a lot of what the large supermarket stocks. It's a little family-run business, so I like to support them. And they do have good prices and good produce. Then there's a local butcher. For example, today I noticed I was running short on meat, and rather than go all the way to the supermarket, I went to the butcher instead. In terms of costs, we are looking at probably around €100 a week that I spend on food. And it just depends on where I shop as to how much goes to the supermarket, how much goes to mini supermarket, and how much goes to the butcher. Today I spent almost €40 at the butcher. I bought a couple of large steaks. I bought a couple of, I'm trying to think of the English word, chicken breasts. I'm like chest. And then I bought some chicken thighs, some chicken wings, just a couple of each of these, and some pork belly. Generally speaking, I would probably spend on a large shop around €60 in one go. And then the other bits and pieces that I'm picking up along the way probably come out to roughly €40. So there you're looking at a monthly range of anywhere between like €360 up until about €520 spent on food. I would say that mine is probably not the cheapest in terms of the things that I buy. Obviously, I buy a lot of meat, and meat tends to be a little on the pricier side. Obviously, if you're buying more vegetables and fruit, that might be on the cheaper side, especially if you go to a market which sell fruit and vegetable quite cheap. I also don't spend my money on too many processed foods. I try to avoid them as much as I can. And when I say processed foods, I mean heavily processed foods. Obviously, I'm buying things like milk, which is processed. I buy juice. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love drinking juice, and that's obviously processed. I'll get some like rice cakes. Occasionally in the winter, I might have some oats for breakfast, those sorts of things. So all of those are obviously processed foods, but they're not processed as in super bad. So I can't really speak to what a shopping cart full of processed foods would be like, but in countries like the US, that is the cheaper way to eat. I can't be sure what it is here. Now, I didn't mention water because I actually don't buy water. A lot of people here buy bottles of water because they don't drink the tap water. I have actually purchased a filter. The filter filters the tap water. So that is what I currently drink. And for me, that's a large saving, even though water is very, very cheap here. But I would rather not be drinking out of plastic if I can. That's just a personal choice for me. I had a day where I had some problems and I needed some extra water. So I went and I bought like 6 2-liter bottles of water, and I think it came out to like €1 or €2. So it's very, very cheap to buy water here. Okay, moving on to the next category, and that is transport. Now, for those of you who have followed me, you probably know that I do not have a car currently. So transport is almost a zero cost for me. It's very, very low. I take the bus when I go into the city, and that costs me €5 for a return trip. So if I were to go once a week, you'd be looking at €20 for the month. Now, that being said, I'm currently in the process of trying to get a long-term rental or lease, if you want to call it that. Like I'm talking about a 3-year rental period. You pay for the car on a monthly basis. And that cost is looking anywhere between like 350 and €500 on a monthly basis. And then of course you'd need to add petrol costs onto that. I'm personally taking that route because I want to avoid secondhand car risk. I know a couple of people, more than a couple of people, who have bought secondhand cars and had huge problems with them, and costs are high and waiting times for mechanics are high and insurance is high. So my personal choice at this present time with that information is to opt for a long-term rental. so that everything is covered, all of the costs, all of the maintenance, all of the repairs, all of the damages, all of the insurance, everything is covered. For me, it's really about prioritizing simplicity over ownership right now. Now, another pretty big expense that I have forgotten to mention until now are my cats. Now, any pet owner will know how much they dote on their little furry friends. And I am no exception. So I have 3 cats living in my house currently. And at times I have visitors that find me and they will visit for a period of time and then they will leave. At present, I'm feeding 3 cats on a daily basis. Occasionally that can go up to about 5. So cats are obviously a joy for me, but they are quite a monthly cost. For food, you're looking anywhere between like 60 to 140 euros. For me, I choose to buy the best quality food I can for my animals. I only feed them wet food. I don't feed them any dry food, just some snacks that are like freeze-dried organs like lung and heart and liver. I also give them those little churro treats. When I previously lived in China, I had a couple of cats and I fed them a large majority raw food. And it's quite the effort to make a raw food diet. You have to make this huge big batch of food and then portion it up and freeze it so it doesn't obviously go bad. And then it's a big commitment to do that. Here I have chosen to opt for a tinned food option. And the reason I did that is because I found that in Europe they have excellent tinned food choices. I did not find this in Australia, but they have tinned food that is only meat and organs. And they cook all of the food and then they mince it all up and put it in a tin. It can contain bone broth, it can contain eggshells as well, and also salmon oil. So it's much more nutritious than you'll find in most regular tin foods, especially in Australia. I never found anything quite like what you find here in Europe. Most of these are made in Germany, so I buy them on Amazon and they get shipped to me here. The cats love them, and I can obviously see their health. They've got very shiny, soft coats, so it gives me a lot of confidence that I'm giving them the best nutrition that I can based on my budget and time constraints. Now, recently I've had some additional animal costs come into play, and that has been spaying my animals. For a female cat, you're looking at 150 euros per animal. Obviously, this depends on the vet that you choose. I have heard you can get it for as little as 120. Male cats will be somewhere in the range of 80 to 100 euros for their neutering. And then of course you have expenses like flea treatments should you partake in them. All of the 3 cats that I have come to me literally off the street, so they have had issues with fleas. I don't worm my cats, but in terms of fleeing, I have chosen to do that because flea infestations are not fun to live with. But like I said, I love my girls. They bring me so much joy, but they are a real monthly cost. And then, of course, everyone has lifestyle costs. As you can see, I have blonde hair. I go to a hairdresser to get this done. I go to my hairdresser every probably 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. I'm looking at 120 euros to get my hair cut and colored. I have been participating in Qigong for the past few months, and this is costing me around 60 euros a month. I go to the gym as well 3 times a week. That costs me 35 euros for a month. And occasionally I will get massages. I would love to get them every week. It is $100 per massage, and this is for a 2-hour massage. Now, like I said before, when it comes to food, I am quite particular in how I eat. Not as particular as I was in the past when I didn't eat any carbohydrates. So now I definitely will partake in pizza and pasta and that sort of a thing. However, I eat out very irregularly. I would say on a monthly basis, it might be at most 30 euros on eating out. The final category is subscriptions and extra costs. most people like their entertainment, I choose Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime costs me €4.99, so €5 per month. I also use Spotify, but I do pay that in Australian dollars at around 14, 15 AUD a month. So that is roughly €9 a month. Then I have a credit card that I'm paying off. I probably pay around 100, €120 off per month. I don't really do a lot of clothes shopping or shoe shopping. I am a barefoot shoe wearer. For any of you out there who are, you'll know what I'm talking about. Barefoot shoes are less available than regular shoes, but there is a lot of choice out there, and Europe is a great place to be for shopping for barefoot shoes. There really is a lot to choose from over here compared to being in Australia. So for that, I'm thankful. But I do buy things on sale. So I recently picked up a couple of barefoot shoes for the gym. It cost me around 150 for a couple of pairs of shoes. So that was a recent monthly expense that I had, but I probably 6 monthly expense that I have. I do also shop on Amazon quite a bit. It's one of the most easy and accessible ways to shop here. And of course, it also has a lot of international brands there. So I shop on Amazon probably on a weekly basis. Most of the time, I'm buying things for my cats, as in food, litter, maybe replacing a bed or something like that. I recently bought some cleaning tools, so I bought like a dust buster and this special broom specific for cat hair and things like that. Obviously, these costs add up way more than you think. So just to give you a quick recap of everything we've touched on today, for housing, I'm looking at between 900 and 1,200 euros. Utilities, I'm looking at anywhere between 220 and 350 euros on a monthly basis. Food, we're looking at somewhere between 350 and like 520. Transport, very low, only 20 euros. My kitty expenses are between 100 and 200 euros. My lifestyle costs somewhere between 150 and $350. Additional extras and subscriptions, we're looking at between 100 and 200 euros. And then repayments that I'm making on a monthly basis, between 100 and 200 euros. So realistically, my monthly costs are my loan repayment, utilities, food, internet, and phone, my cats, my subscriptions and any extras, my credit card repayments, transport, my gym membership, and occasionally eating out, and then just additional Amazon purchases that pop up randomly as they do. The realistic core total that comes out to is around 1,800 to 2,600 euros a month. A high month would probably be up around 3,000 at the most per month. So that's my real monthly cost of living here in Sardinia. Now, Sardinia can definitely be cheaper than this, although I think that my lifestyle is pretty cheap. I am quite frugal because of my current financial situation. But obviously, my lifestyle includes certain choices that increase my costs, including the way that I feed my cats and myself. Overall, I am still figuring things out here. My costs will continue to change as I settle more, when I get a car, when I've finished the repayments, when I start my renovations, and I will happily update you as I move forward, as things evolve and change, as I continue to live here in this little town on the island of Sardinia. So thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. I hope this has been helpful, especially for those people who are looking at moving abroad, specifically to Sardinia. I'm sure this has given you a much clearer picture of what things might look like if you do choose to make the move. And of course, I hope you do if that's what your heart is pulling you to do. If you have any questions, please drop them down below and I will definitely make a note of them and get to them in good time. But thanks again for being here. Thanks for sticking through to the end of this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Ciao for now.